Welcome to the University of Leicester MBA webinar. My name is Helen Spiropoulos. I'm the admissions manager at Stafford Global, and joining me this evening all the way from the university is Dr. Olga. Good evening to you, Dr. Olga.
Good evening to you all, and it's lovely to see you in the audience.
Yes, and I can see that we have quite a few people that have joined us from the Middle East. I can see from Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, and as well as Oman, which is actually great to have you with us this evening. How are we going to conduct our webinar this evening is I'm briefly going to introduce you to Stafford Global, what our function is. I'm then going to hand you over to Dr. Olga, who's going to chat to you about the program. And right at the end of the presentation, you will have the time to be able to type out any questions that you have for myself or for Dr. Olga. Now, Dr. Olga will probably concentrate on the questions pertaining to the academics of the program, and I'll be also looking at some of the questions pertaining to the admissions of the program. A lot of these questions will be similar, if not identical, so I am going to be grouping the questions together. So please do listen out for that very important question and answer. Okay, so let's get started. Who is Stafford Global? Well, Stafford was established in 1993, and we are the very first resource center for distance learning education in the Middle East. And we are the resource center for 5 UK universities, one of which is University of Leicester. Now, we offer a variety of programs ranging from certificates to diplomas, bachelor's, master's, right through until doctorates. So we really do have all the programs to actually suit your personal as well as your professional needs. Now, the mere fact that you're here with us this evening means that you have been in touch with one of our experienced academic consultants, and I'm sure you have noticed that their function is to actually assist you throughout the application process. So they will tell you a little bit about the program, they'll advise you as to what documents are required to be submitted, and they'll ensure that we send it successfully to the university and get that very, very important unconditional offer for you. And Stafford Global also does provide some administrative support as well throughout your studies. So I'm now going to hand you over to Dr. Olga, and I shall join you towards the end of the webinar. Over to you.
Thank you very much for this lovely introduction. And so hello and a very warm welcome to the University of Leicester MBA program. Just to give you a bit of a background, University of Leicester is located, as you may well guess, in the city of Leicester. And the city of Leicester lies in the very heart of England, the area known as Midlands. It's just 1 hour away from London by train. The city, again, you may have heard in the news, made world news twice in the recent years. First in 2012 with the discovery of the remains of the King Richard III, and then with a spectacular win of the Leicester City Football Club known as Foxes in the Premier League. University itself has been founded nearly 100 years ago. Yes, next year will be celebrating the centenary, and we were awarded a Royal Charter as a university in 1957. If you look at the motto of the university in Latin means so that they may have life, and it's because the site for the university was donated by a local businessman to create a living memorial for all local people who made sacrifices during the First World War. University of Leicester is perhaps most famous for the discovery of genetic fingerprinting. It is one of the leading UK universities, and we're committed to international excellence through creating world-changing research, but also high-quality inspirational teaching. And the main ranking agency for us, the Times Higher Education, has ranked us 23rd in the UK in the World University Rankings, in the top 25 UK universities in the Research Power Rankings, and 21st in the entire world in the Impact Ranking in terms of UN Sustainable Development Goals. University is fairly large university with about 12,000 undergrads and 5,000 graduate students. And it's also one of the most socially inclusive universities in the UK, with a long-standing commitment to providing fair and equal access to higher education. The University of Leicester School of Business that delivers the Leicester MBA program is a medium-sized business school with about 150 academic staff, and it is extremely international, with faculty from somewhere between 20 and 30 countries, we lost count, and doing research on many different countries and regions in the world. The motto of the school is distinctive and relevant, and we're distinctive in our research and our approach to the study of business and economics and management. And we're also trying to be extremely relevant in terms of applying all this to organizational practice, business practice, and generating the impact through our research and also through our students. Our MBA program is renowned worldwide, as we have 12,000 graduate alumni working in 150 countries around the world. So, you know, we've got a massive, massive army of supporters. Leicester MBA was one of the first distance learning MBA programs in the world. And it was also one of the first to achieve the AMBA, Association of MBA accreditation. And we have held this accreditation for over 2 decades. So we have been the pioneers and we remain at the cutting edge. So we have 30 years of experience. Yes, we haven't started out online when, you know, the pandemic hit. Yes, we've got 30 years of experience of offering distance and online and blended MBA. So we know exactly what works well for students, how to help you achieve the results you want. And what we do today is the culmination of that experience. And of course, I already said, you know, we have multinational faculty, global cohort of students. In every cohort, we have about 30 nationalities represented. So there is a wealth of knowledge there in the classroom, both your teachers and your fellow students. Yes, and 4 out of 5 students on the program are from outside of the UK. Average student age is 36 years, so we have predominantly mature students. Really, you know, majority of our students have 5 to 10 years of work experience. So again, you know, there's this wealth of experience there. So in terms of the quality of the program, yes, well, we need external markers, indicators of quality. And the business school is the program, we have this in spades. The school is a member of Charter Association of Business Schools and Association of Collegiate School of Business and European Foundation for Management Development, so all key organizations. We're a proud signatory of the UN Principles for Responsible Management Education. We hold prestigious Small Business Charter Award for our role in helping to kickstart new businesses. But for our MBA program, the key accreditation that is of interest to you is the Association of MBAs, or AMBA accreditation. And this is the hallmark of quality for MBA programs. And currently only top 2%, yes, of MBA programs worldwide are accredited. So we are the creme de la creme. Another accreditation of interest to you is accreditation for Chartered Management by Chartered Management Institute. I mean, it's only UK organization, but it's the only chartered professional body in the UK dedicated to promoting management and leadership excellence. And it is the only organization that grants chartered manager status. And as part of your Leicester MBA program, when you successfully complete the course, you will be awarded not only the MBA degree, but also CMI certificate in strategic management and leadership practice. It will also accredited by the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. So for those of you with an accounting band, that also would be important. Now, when we talk about the Leicester MBA program, we say 1 program, 2 qualifications, 3 specialisms. So 1 program, clear enough, 2 qualifications or awards. I've just mentioned that in addition to the MBA, you also will receive certificate or diploma in leadership practice. And 3, well, you have 3 options, 3 specialisms. You don't have to declare specialism. You can pursue a generalist MBA, but you can choose to specialize in one of the 3 key functional areas: finance, marketing, or human resource management. And as I've just mentioned, our MBA program is designed to provide you with flexibility. Yes, flexibility to fit your studies around your professional and personal commitments. Yes, but at the same time, we give you good structure to help you successfully progress. So yes, you're flexible, but we will be nurturing you and pushing you. So let's talk about structure. I said, we've got strong course structure to help you progress. So the program is designed to be completed in 30 months. There are 3 core modules, 1 option, and the final organizational research and consultancy methods and the MBA project module. Each module is 6 months in duration. You only take 1 module at a time because, well, that's how we packet it. That's also how we ensure that you focus on one thing at a time rather than spreading yourself too thinly. So in the first module, you'll have the induction to your studies, and you also will focus on areas of general management and managing and developing people and organizations. So in the second module, you will be studying marketing, operations management, entrepreneurship, and innovation. And we call it managing value creation processes from idea to market, because that's what it's all about, from the very beginning, from the innovation or entrepreneurial process to the very end of selling what you've produced. And in the third module, you will be learning about finance, accounting, economics, strategic decision making, and also ethical decision making. And then you have the opportunity to go deeper and specialize in either marketing or finance or human resource management. And then in the final module, we will introduce you to various tools and methods of doing your own independent research, and you will undertake either an in-company project if you're currently working for an employer, or if you're an entrepreneur yourself, you can focus on developing your business. If you're planning to switch to a different area, or go and work for a different company, you can do the market analysis or focus on the issues that would help you get the job in a new organization, a new position. In any case, this is something that we conceive of not as a standard, desktop dissertation, but as a very heavily applied project to help you progress in your career. And alongside these modules, you will be working on your learning and professional development portfolio. And in this portfolio, throughout the course, you will be collecting the evidence of your knowledge and skill development. And this will help you to document to either your employer, to any external parties, what learning you have done what skills you have gained. And we also have very strong career management and development program with regular executive coaching sessions conducted throughout the module, throughout the program, and also with individual one-to-one and standard resource support. Okay. Now, in terms of delivery, so I told you what, and now I will tell you how. Okay, so we have developed an online learning environment that's available 24/7, and that provides you with a structured week-by-week program of studies. And you have an online suite of materials that we've developed. It's like a textbook, but better. Yes, it's our own, and it also has lots of bells and whistles, as you would expect from online resource, because it has videos, podcasts, and various hands-on activities. We also have, of course, we have lectures, but lectures are pre-recorded and you can watch them at a time convenient for you. We also have online seminars, and these are obviously not pre-recorded. These are live online in small groups where you will discuss the issues with your teacher, with your tutor, and will develop and do presentations on various topics and do group work with your colleagues. There's also a strong what we call asynchronous. And of course, these days, everyone already is so good at, all the virtual work. So in addition to these live and real time, there's also a lot of discussions that go in throughout the module online. Well, not in the chat, but in our version of chat, which is Blackboard, and each module is supported by Blackboard discussion board, in which you will be given the ideas or themes or case studies to discuss, and where you can also ask all the any questions about the material and so forth. Okay, and so that's the online. Normally, not in the new normal, in the old normal, we also have face-to-face, in-person events. We have residential workshops that happen twice a year, and it's just a weekend activity. And we also have Leicester Masterclass, which is a week-long event that happens at the University of Leicester. Both are fantastic. Students love the workshops, and the workshops we offer in to our global centers in Africa and also in Iraq, in UAE, and at Leicester. Great opportunity to meet your fellow students, great opportunity to work on each specific workshop comes with a topic to work on your particular skills in that area, like conflict and negotiation or creativity and entrepreneurship, and of course great opportunity to see your tutors. And Leicester Masterclass is even better because there's in addition to the learning part and various workshops and invited speakers, there's also a busy social program. But of course, for now, for the new normal, sorry, it's like whetting your appetite, but at the moment, we don't know what's going to happen next year, but we can tell you what happened this year, because this year, because obviously we can't have all these events on campus. They were planned for August, but we're all in lockdown. So instead, we created online learning experience, which allowed us to replicate what we would do face-to-face, but also do it better and link it better to what our students needed or still need at this particular point in time. So we created very creatively what we call the exhibition of resources, where we pulled both the resources that we collected as researchers, but we also had the auditorium where all our key academics presented their ideas, and all was pulled together by the theme of, well, guess what? How you manage in the pandemic, and more specifically focusing on reimagining the way we do things because of the constraints created by the pandemic, but also by the opportunities that are emerging, say, greater virtual work, more working from home, and so on and so forth. And 125 students took part in this event, and the event was staged. First there was some team building activities online, then students worked on their project, then there was a online conference where students presented their ideas and actually quite specific plans on what they would do to improve situation in their organization, how they can help their organizations cope with COVID, but also use it as an opportunity to improve business. And we now have, I started to say, we created an exhibition of resources to help the students. We now added to this fantastic plans for changing the world, really, because the proposals were so various. So we have now 25 student proposals as part of this online exhibition that all focus on changing the world. And some of our students are already implementing some of the ideas that they have developed just, what was it, a month and a half ago, gosh, now 2 months ago, mid-August. Right. Okay. So that's how we're coping with the situation, and also, our next residential workshop would be in February, but we now are going to have it as an online event, similar to what we had in August. Slightly smaller, not as ambitious, but also. So it's worthwhile for the students to take part. And so it also takes into account the challenges of students working virtually rather than face-to-face. Okay, so we're flexible, we're adaptable, we are super agile, but in terms of the actual flexible routes throughout the program, we do require you to engage in real-time interaction, live, online, and or face-to-face, as pandemic situation allows. It's one of the requirements of the program, but we offer you a flexibility of following either one of the two routes to achieve it. So you must attend one residential workshop and all your live online seminars. That's kind of mandatory, but then you can choose whether to attend more residential workshops or come to Leicester for a masterclass. In terms of personal support, well, obviously you have academics who teach you modules, who do your lectures and do the seminars with you, and support you also through online discussions and such. Obviously, workshops have their own stable of mentors who lead the workshops and help, say, like in our August online Leicester Masterclass, there were each team had a mentor to help them develop their proposals. You also have personal tutors. When you start on the program, you are assigned a faculty member to be a personal tutor and to help you with your study skills, with your progression, all throughout 2.5 years of you being on the program. We also have the career development support for you. Obviously, we also have massive online library with online library support and dedicated subject librarians. And in case you want to improve your English, although, you know, I'm sure you'll speak perfectly, there's also English language teaching unit to provide assistance. Okay, and right, and did I mean, oh, did I skip over the career development? I'm sorry. So of course, obviously, a dedicated career development team. Now, how would your typical week when you start the studies, how would it look like? So in a typical week, you'll have either an online recorded lecture or an online seminar. You'll also have online discussions, asynchronous, not in real time, moderated by the tutor. You'll have to read your online textbook, or we call it study guide. And of course, in that study guide, there would be suggestions for you to also do perhaps some practical exercises or even do tests. Like we do a lot of personal awareness self-assessments, like personality assessment or, you know, your leadership style assessment. And you also have some extra online readings occasionally to supplement our study. In terms of assessment, yes, also usually a very important issue in terms of assessment. We have in our core modules an exam and an assignment. All our exams are now online. Assignment obviously you submit online. Option modules, you don't have any exams, but you have 2 assignments. One is an individual assignment, one is a team assignment. And by the time you get to the option module, you're going to be, you would have worked as a member of a team on so many occasions that it would present no challenge whatsoever, at least in terms of, you know, your teamwork skills. And then, of course, you have your MBA project, which Alfie said, we encourage you to focus on your professional practice and do something that would be worthwhile either in your current employment or for your, you know, future desirable employment elsewhere. And then you also have this portfolio with some brief reflective pieces, but you collect it as you go along, and it's not a particularly arduous thing, but very, very good for your development. In terms of entry requirements, well, our entry requirements are pretty standard for the program. So it's either an honors degree or its equivalent of second class UK degree. And of course, for MBA, as you know, that's universal. You need to have at least 3 years of professional experience. However, we do make an exception because we know some of the candidates, for whatever reason, have been unable to do an undergraduate study, but have accumulated great skills, knowledge, and experience through practical work. And so if you are one of such candidates with extensive work and managerial experience, then we would ask you to do a brief essay reflecting on your experience, and we also will have not an interview, but we call it a welcome conversation to just see whether you understand what would be required from you in your studies, whether you think you will be able to cope, and so on and so forth. So, right, and English. Well, I should have updated it for today because, well, on latest English requirements that have become even better than this, Stafford will be able to update you because we just had very welcome news that occasionally some candidates who have been speaking English for their entire life and used it for work for their entire life, for various reasons were required to take the test. Well, this is no longer the case, and so you'll just have to evidence in some shape and form that you have indeed been speaking English for considerable amount of time, and then these requirements will be essentially waived. And yes, well, last but not least, the course fees. Well, I've been hearing actually from many different places that we underprice ourselves. Well, we are priced extremely competitively for the program of our standing and class, and these fees cover pretty much everything with the exception of a small fee if you attend the Leicester masterclass, and obviously, you know, if you have to travel to masterclass or residential workshops, then you have to pay for your own travel and accommodation. But everything else, and you know, you wouldn't be asked to buy an extra book or anything. You know, all the materials are provided, all examinations are provided, so that's pretty much all inclusive. Right. Okay. And our again, sorry, it is my bad, as they say. I should remove the October start because that's just started, and we've just welcomed our new students. And the next start is in April, and we would encourage you to apply as soon as possible. But the normal deadline is a month ahead of the start date for the program. So we start on the 1st of April, so the deadline is the 1st of March. And now I would welcome your questions because I'm sure you have plenty of questions. I'm sure, you know, this was just to whet your appetite, as it were, although I have tried to paint a comprehensive picture. So please, yes, go ahead and ask anything that I can help you with.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Olga. That was very, very informative. Okay, so we do have quite a few questions that have come through. Okay, first question from Lauren. Do you have a full-time option for this MBA program? Can I come through to the university at some time during my course?
No, we don't. We focus entirely on distance learning online, and that's our strength. And well, now given the situation, I don't know how many programs in the world will remain campus. Everyone is moving online, but yes, well, no, we only have online.
Okay, great. And unfortunately, I have lost my degree certificate. And I've noticed that the entry requirement is a bachelor degree. What would happen in my situation if I want to do this program?
Right. Well, would be lovely if you could trace it, retrieve it, find it, because it'll simply save you time doing a little bit of extra that you would ask you to do if you can't find this. But we would class it, sorry, as kind of non-standard application. And what we will practically ask you to do is, well, hopefully that you also have, you know, experience in such, but we will ask you to do a written essay. And we would also have a half an hour chat, conversation with you. And it will be either with myself or with the deputy director of the program.
Right, correct. And in cases like this, please do get in touch with your academic consultant. They'll be able to advise you as to what the university will look for. I do strongly advise that you have a very strong CV that does show your extensive managerial work experience. Okay, as Dr. Olga has said, you know, they would look at anything of 10 years or more. But you know, for Dr. Olga and her team to make an informed decision of your entry into the program, they would have to look at your personal statement as well as your CV. So please do get in touch with your academic consultant, and we will be able to advise you on that. Okay. All right, why is the CMI important to this program, and how do I go about getting the CMI?
Okay, CMI is important. Given that it's not an international chartered status yet, yes, if you have no plans of working in the UK, it may be less relevant. But if you do plan to work in the UK, then Chartered Management Institute is the only accrediting body for managers, for general managers. As you know, accountants, marketers, other groups have lots of professional associations, but for general management, unfortunately, strangely enough, there are not that many, and the only one that does provide the chartered status is the CMI. If your plans do not involve working in the UK or for UK company, it still is worthwhile, since it doesn't actually cost you anything extra or requires you to do anything else. It is this just extra qualification that you can add to your CV, but as I say, given the status of the Chartered Management Institute in this country, I'm sure the employers that are UK based or familiar with the UK or any multinational organizations with UK presence would recognize this as an extra, as a valuable extra add to your MBA degree.
Okay, you had mentioned the workshops are probably going to be online. What would be the timings for this, especially as I am based in the Middle East?
Okay, well, I can tell you exactly what it's going to be for the next one in February, and then you can make a sort of extrapolate from that. So the February one will entail half day Friday, half day Saturday, and half day following Saturday, and by half day I mean around 4 hours. So that's kind of spread out so that we don't ask you to sit in front of the computer for too long, and there are going to be breaks even within this 4-hour chunks, but they are Friday, Saturday, Saturday. So we keep it wherever you are in the world to your weekends. So in the Middle East, we know your weekend is Friday and Saturday. And then the rest of the world, it's Saturday and Sunday. And so timings of these events are then different for where you are. And of course, you can join whichever is more convenient for you, because today you're working in the Middle East, but the next month your employer sends you somewhere else, and so you will be able to nominate your preferred place and preferred time. So
good. So that does accommodate, majority of the students that are based in the Middle East, which is fantastic. Okay, and I've noticed that this degree has got an Amber accreditation. Are you looking at perhaps getting a triple accreditation at any time?
Yes, this is in our future plans, of course. Yes. So that at least we can finally get into the Financial Times rankings, because we would hit all the criteria, we would do very well, but just because we haven't got the ACSB, then unfortunately we don't enter. But yes, that's it's not going to happen tomorrow or the next year, but it's in our midterm plans.
Excellent. And is there any scope for any further specializations? At the moment, I only see 3. I have noticed that there are a lot of MBAs out there that have got 5 or 6 specializations.
Right. Well, we are thinking, and at the moment it's still kind of in the design phase, of having one in healthcare or possibly healthcare joined with public sector, possibly one in entrepreneurship and innovation. So these may be turning from the design to implementation stage sometime next year, but at the moment that I can't yet tell you definitively. But a couple of more are on the cards, as it were, though not in the officially in the program. So yes, we're thinking and planning. But at the same time, if you want to do something strengthen your knowledge of particular area, you certainly can do it through your project, because in the project is quite wide open. And so to get what we call specialism in the bracket, so that your MBA says, say MBA bracket finance, you do have to do the option and your project in the same area. But if you're not interested in that, you can focus on your project and specialize and develop expertise in that area through your project.
Okay, and if I fail my assignment, will there be any critical review of that, so that I may know where I have gone wrong so I can resubmit?
Yes, of course. Well, first of all, even if you fail the assignment, yes, because for the first 3 core modules, your final mark is a combination of your exam mark and assignment mark. So you may have failed the assignment, but did well on the exam, so you wouldn't have to resit your assignment. We only ask you to resubmit or redo the work if you failed the entire module. But yes, you will get detailed feedback both on your examinations and your assignments, so you'll know exactly what to do. And of course, you will have the opportunity to resit or resubmit or be reassessed for the whole module, depending on your circumstances. So there's always this, we always give you the second chance.
Yeah, and will you accept any credit exemptions? I am halfway through another MBA at the moment, and I'd like to come through to the Leicester MBA program.
That's a difficult one, and unfortunately, no, we don't offer that option at the moment, particularly because of the differences between the programs, and also because of restrictions imposed on us by AMBA. So, but sorry for that.
Okay, and I'll just answer Eliza's question regarding English. Please do get in touch with your academic consultant at Stafford, and we'll be able to advise you of the various ways that you can meet the English requirement of the university, which is obviously an IELTS of 6.5. But there are various ways that can be met. So please do get in touch with us, and we'll be able to assist you with that. Okay.
Yes, now it's pretty much like 101 ways of doing it, because you can do Duolingo, you can do this test, that test, or you can do instead all, document what you've done in English. So
exactly, there are so many different tests that are available at the moment, some of them very much online, obviously in today's circumstances, but yes, do get in touch with us, and we'll try and fit you to the right English requirement, something that would suit your needs as well. Okay, and in your opinion, this is a very interesting question. In your opinion, is this MBA very difficult to pass?
our pass rates are fantastic. We pretty much, okay, since we started this new version in 2017, we haven't failed anyone. But that's not because we're easy as a program. It's just because we support you so much. And there is some attrition, but it's just when, 1-2 students do drop out from each cohort, either because they realize it's not quite, they can't quite manage their time, but more often is because of some unexpected financial hardship. But yeah, so I'm saying it sort of cautiously, yes, because I'm saying we pass everyone, yes, but it doesn't mean with rather, let's say, the success rate, it's a combination of how well we select prospective students. Yes. Also, what great students we manage to attract, and also that we support them so well that there are only very few cases. Well, I would say it's probably about 95% pass rate, and if if you don't complete the whole thing, I think there's there's also a, sorry to call it that way, there's a consolation prize if you say fail your project. Again, not many do.
Dr. Olga, that's a very good pass, and you've actually mentioned something which is very important, is the support that the students will get, the academic support from the academic team. And I believe even the dean of the school is also teaching on the program, so you can understand the caliber of the academics, and quite correct with the with a very strong support provided to the students. It's quite an easy program to get through. Obviously, provided that you do your work consistently. And you do submit your assignments and you pass them quite well. It is a program that is very manageable. Remember, it is very flexible. It has got that 30 months, so it does allow that flexibility, and you don't feel very stressed to try and finish everything in 18 months or 24 months. So you do have that flexibility. Okay, so Dr. Olga has actually touched on a very, very important point, and that is the very strong support that you'll get from academics as well as student support at the university. Okay. A very common question which I'll answer is, does the degree certificate state online distance learning? And no, it does not. Okay, and you can see Dr. Olga's also shaking her head because that's quite correct. It does not. It is you get the exact same degree certificate as if you were doing it on campus full time. Okay, so
you know what, Helen, sorry to interrupt. I think we'll start adding it in the future. You know why? Because now actually employers are looking for people with experience of working remotely and virtual teams and some such. I've been reading in the Times the other week that some organizations, some big ones like sorry, I forget who they were, but they're hiring heads of remote, i.e. heads of operations to manage remote workforce. And I can tell you, based on the experience of the current students, that they found their feet after the pandemic struck much quicker than their colleagues. And they're now doing much better. And they keep saying, we already knew what to do, how to do it, how to run virtual meeting and so forth. So that really, at some point, it was something that you had to hide in the past. Soon you'll be bragging about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, as you know, a lot of things have gone online at the moment. And so there is a huge need for applicants like that can actually, and I hate to use the term juggle, but you can actually juggle your work as well as your studies. And that's exactly what companies are looking for, time management, which is very, very important. Well, okay, very good. A question about exams. I can see that there are exams in the program. There might not be a possibility for me to write exams at the British Council. How are these going to be examined, or how are the modules going to be tested?
All exams are currently online. There's one exam where we're just thinking, well, there might be pressure to make it face-to-face, but I don't think we'll ever make it because it's quantitative financial accounting. The only thing that might happen to it is that it will have to be online proctored, meaning you'll have to have your webcams, so making sure that no one is advising you in the background or something along those lines, but no exams are online.
Good, good. And I've noticed that the program is 30 months. However, because I really do like Leicester, and that's good news. I really do like Leicester, and I like the fact that it is Amber accredited. My question is there any possibility that I can shorten the program? Do you have a fast track option?
At the moment, no, but some students are pushing for it. One student actually contacted me today and said, I love it, but and Helen, can I tell this story, because it brings another thing that I was just telling you before the seminar started. But one exemplary student we currently have is CEO of UK National Charity, and that's who was asking me whether it could be fast tracked, but he's a bit of a genius. Yes, he already has a PhD, and he's a member of several different associations, and he also, parallel with learning, he's also teaching on some programs and so on and so forth. So he was pushing for fast tracking. At the moment, we're not fast tracking because we think that's, I forgot to mention how long it takes. Yes, about 12 to 14 hours a week you'll need to work. Nearly all of our students are in full-time employment with families. 12 to 14 hours is something that they can just about afford in terms of the time outlay for their studies. Also, we already pretty fast as is because we run without holidays. You will only have a week break between your semesters. Yes, so your semester will run 1st of April till 21st of September, and then the next one will start on the 1st of October until 21st of March. So it's really, there are not that many holidays and not that many spare time. But the story about the NGO CEO, that was my sneaky way of bringing up another thing, and just to say how good our students are putting what they learn in class into their everyday practice. So he just finished marketing module, and he said that what he was learning in the marketing module, he straight implemented in his organization. They created the new online product, and well, he's sponsored, lucky him, by his organization. So his organization paid his MBA fees, but with this online product, they managed to recoup what they paid him for the program fees in, I don't know, a month, and already made more than what the outlay was for his fees.
That's fantastic. So, that's excellent, very good. And again, just a quick question from Eliza, which I will answer. How do we upload course material or assignments onto the website? Yes, you will have a study platform. And obviously you need to look at that quite often, but you will be able to upload your assignments on that study platform. Okay.
And it's all very easy. Very easy.
Correct. Yeah. And one very last question: what is the maximum time period I can finish this program? I know it's 30 months, but sometimes circumstances are beyond my control, and so therefore, what is the maximum time period I can finish it?
5 years, so plenty of time. So double the time it takes normal. So
yeah, fantastic, good. All right, so I've managed to group all these questions together, and there's some very interesting questions. Again, Dr. Olga, it was fantastic having you with us this evening, and I hope that you've all learned something quite interesting about the program. We are currently open for applications for the April 2021 cohort. Okay, so this program does book up quite quickly, so I do advise to try and get your application documents in before the 14th of December, so that your university can review the applications and perhaps even give you an unconditional offer way before next year. Okay, thank you again, Dr. Olga, and thank you everyone for joining us this evening. A good evening to all.
Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you on the program soon.
Good evening. Bye-bye.